particular method really helps you with is like, as a library author or something, like you could define, or if you wanted to define this on like, somebody else's classes, you could just build a list of type annotations like that. It is really just personal preference at this point.
Quick question, by binary, do you mean a bool?
No, I just mean like some random bytes.
Okay, I was just thinking like 1 and 0.
Well, yes.
It is.
I mean, more or less, yeah.
So in this case, like a text is binary, but it has a special encoding.
Mm-hmm.
And if you refer to a binary blob, there's no assumption of how that binary is encoded.
Yeah.
So they're just raw bytes. Is it a picture? Is it a video? Is it text? Who knows?
Yeah, it's totally just like, what do you do with it?
Okay.
And so I made a really short example here of, okay, what if we want to basically parse a JSON response from something?
Could be like an internal
Yeah. So I have another, oh my gosh, helper here. And this. No. I'm trying to source my Python code. So all this does is just, it opens a HTTP server. We have a really basic response body. And this is kind of a model for like, hey, you want to do something with it, like an API? Well, with requests, which I'm sure everybody's familiar with, here's exactly how you would.
Is everybody familiar with the request library?
Well, it's really good for making requests of the HTTP variety.
So if someone hasn't done Python in a long time, and like, does Python have a bunch of async stuff now?
Python does have better async. I still don't love async IO.
What is request used? Does it have to use? Is
So
it
it's
blocking? Or?
Request is blocking.
It's a separate library if you want async.
If you're using async, I actually like HTTPX because it handles both pretty well. But I mean, this response body could be quite large, and it could be from some external vendor's API, and maybe they don't have the best documentation. So you can basically just build an object around that, and if you wanted to, so this is a bit of a tangent, but I believe it's, never mind. Essentially, you can say, hey, in Pydantic, ignore extra values. Like, just don't try and parse those because maybe they added a field or they just changed the shape of their API. And at the same time, you can also, like, maybe we want to say, hey, this might not exist, and they're just sending us an empty JSON object for some reason. Well, if you do a default here, it just correctly parses it if there's just no value in the object. Versus if you just had, hey, this can be a string or none, it would fail to validate if it was missing this key.
Okay. I don't want to interject and put you to digress. But let me ask you about 14 again, line 14.
Oh, yeah.
The double underscore.
Mm-hmm.
Usually the main represent the beginning of the program.
Mm-hmm.
But most, like yours, all the way down into the program. How does that happen there?
Let's see. So I guess, Python, we're just starting interpreting this from the top, and then this name special double under object is just going to exist.
I mean, the right side is there's a sign in this one.
Oh, sorry, that's not a sign, that's an equality.
Yeah.
So it's just checking, like, does this double under string value equal main, and if you're just running this, you know, like like I am right here, it'll have that assigned to main.
So I can either work it that way or not have it at all, or place it at the top of the program.
So since Python's a dynamic
Mhm.
language and not a compiled language, this whole entire file, it's like it's inside the body of the main function of
Yeah,
C.
yeah, so it's getting interpreted from top to bottom, and main is basically kind of what's the entry point script for Python that's getting called. So if this was getting imported somewhere else, I think main would just be the
Yes. So
Well-
so name, the only time where name equals main is if you run in that command line Python 3 source example.py. So that block only gets run if you run it through an interpreter. If you run it in from the command line like that.
Okay.
If you import this module, like if you here, open up a Python shell.
Yeah.
Well, so the code could get run from if you're running it like it's an executable from
Yeah.
your system, or it could get run when you import it.
It won't run if you import
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, so-
Because it won't have that main set. It's just a special magic variable that'll
Yeah, so if I
set
do
for you.
this,
That makes sense.
None of this block will run, but I believe I should have imported this response body. I'm gonna say smaller. Okay.
You have it from start. So if you put like a print statement on line 13, just like print hello, and then re-import it again.
Okay, so yeah, we should do that again, and then see our print statement run, but none of the conditional here run.
It just protects that block from being run on a code.
Yeah, it's a really useful shim for like, okay, if you run this thing directly, you want to run some code, test it. Not very good practice compared to like an actual testing regime, but it's a very convenient feature. Okay. So I was also going to go into some extra stuff that Pydantic gives you. They have a really good just settings library that you can use. So you can do things like define an environment file in your model config and then say, hey, whenever we initiate this class, we don't have to pass anything in or do like a model validate. We just look at the environment feature. And then there's a couple just helper utilities, like there's a HTTP URL class, and that will just check the validity of your URL. Secret string, that one's actually pretty fun. Let me just close this. And then go to our example number 5. So, secret string is cool because it will just mask out values if it gets printed. And in order to get the value from it, you just call it get secret value. And that way you can just use it in places where, let's say, you want to pass that secret key into another object and not worry about it, you know, accidentally getting logged or printed somewhere. With URL, it just handles a lot of like the adding slashes and escaping things for you. And I just thought the payment card number class was interesting, honestly. It'll do some validation on it too, so you can use Pydantic to say, hey, is somebody giving you a valid credit card number? You know, like example, I don't know why you would be using an API config. Maybe you just want to pay through your LLMs like that. And so it's just another validation feature that Pydantic has. And
Wait, is that a validation for your environment variables?
mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah. Your credit card number for your API calls. Yeah. Look, I have one more on here I think I wanted to show off here. Now we know that the enum does not work like I thought. you can also create JSON schemas from Pydantic objects. So, actually, yeah, I think this one matters. Let's see what happens.
For the environment validation, will it check every single environment variable and then tell you all the environment variables are either missing or the wrong type, or does it only give you one at a time?
That is a model config feature you can set.
Okay.
It's basically just an exit early flag.
I've used Pydantic to create a contract for my upflow. So I know we can create JSON schema with Pydantic, but I want to know, can Pydantic consume JSON and convert it to like Python objects?
Yes, there is I think like a Pydantic data model code gen class or module. It's outside of the main Pydantic project though, so if you're doing JSON schema, yeah, it can do that transform pretty well, but it is not part of the main package. I don't know why it's only one way. I guess I should ask kind of same question. So you use JSON schema for stuff. Is anybody else really familiar with it? Okay. Yeah, it's just kind of a structured way to represent like what should your data look like, and it's a lot more portable than what you're doing with Pydantic. So you could maybe convert it to a TypeScript type, or really any other language that has some sort of code gen capabilities from there, or just a similar package in its own. Fine. So this one, here we go. We get JSON schema out, and this you can really, pass it off to anything that'll consume it. Sorry, it's a little hard to read here. There was no indent. It actually generates some of the descriptions for us, which is actually really nice. Description. Remember. Oh, it is. Huh.
By the way, last 15 minutes is for questions, in case anybody has questions.
Oh, yeah, it's weird. Alrighty. Yeah, that's the whole thing. Probably mess around generating this nice QR code if you want to link to this repository.